All right, this section 1.4 is called Translating Words into Symbols, and it's about taking words and decoding them into algebraic expressions. So you really want to pay attention to this blue chart on page 14 because it's like the decoder key. It has the words and what operation they stand for. So for example, sum of refers to addition, less than means subtraction, product means multiplication, and so on. So you really have to look at this table carefully and basically memorize it. You have to know what all these words, what operation they stand for. All right, so what I want to do is take the written exercises on the bottom of page 16, and I'm going to go through and translate these phrases into expressions. All right, so this is a copy of those exercises. Number 1, I've already highlighted the key phrases that you have to pay attention to. 1, 8 more than a number. More than means addition, so that would be 8 plus n. And you could use any variable you want, but I'm going to use n unless it specifies otherwise. Number 2 is over here. 4 times a number, 4n. Now you could put 4 times n, or you could even do put 4 dot n. Those are fine also. This is probably the best way to write it though, the most concise way to write it, but these are okay too. A number decreased by 11, that means you're taking 11 away from a number, so I have to put the minus 11 after the variable. Number 4, the sum of the sum of 3 in a number. Sum means addition, so 3 plus n. Number 5, half of a number. Of means multiplication, so I could write 1/2 n, or I could also do n over 2. I suppose you could do 1/2 times n. It's really best not to use the multiplication or division symbols because you don't see those very often in algebra. So these two are probably those are the best ways to write it. A number increased by 10, that means addition, so I'm adding 10 to a number increased by. 7 says the quotient of 17 and d. Well, quotient means division, so 17 over d. The fraction bar, remember, means division. You could do this, but this is the preferable way. A number divided by 3, that's really the same as the quotient. So divided by means quotient. A number divided by 3, or a number divided by 3. Number 9, the product of 11 and x. Product means multiplication, so the best way to write it would be 11x. But you could do, well, this is why the multiplication symbol isn't a good idea, because the variable x looks like the times sign, so I would not write it that way. You could do 11 dot x, but this is the best way to do it. Number 10, the difference between a number and 2. Well, difference between means subtraction, n minus 2. 11 is 7 more than twice y. So we have a couple different things going. we're adding 7 to twice y. So 7 more than, addition, twice y. That means 2 times y. Number 12, 4 less than 5 times a number. Less than, I'm going to underline it, put a star. Less than, when you see that, I want you to stop and think. This is a tricky one. This is probably the one that's missed most often. If I say 4 less than 5 times a number, first of all, let me put the 5 times a number. Here's 5 times a number. 4 less than 5 times a number means you're taking 4 away from 5 times a number. So it goes like this. The less than means you put the -4 after the 5 in and not before. Just because the 4 comes first, don't do this. 4 less than 5n. That is incorrect. You have to put the -4 after. Okay, that is really important. 13, 8 less than half of n. There's that less than again. Put a star. So I'm taking 8 away from half of n. Well, here's half of n. Of means times. This is times. I'm taking 8 away from it, so it goes after. The -8 goes after. 14. 11 more than 1/3 of a number. Now, more than is addition, so I can go ahead and put the 11 first. 11 more than 1/3 of a number. Of means times. So 1/3 n. More than is straightforward. Oops. There we go. 15. 5 plus the quotient of a number in 8. Plus is addition. 5 plus the quotient of, I'm dividing here, the quotient of a number and 8. And 16, 10 times the sum of. This one's kind of tricky too, because it says the sum of a number and 9, and it's 10 times that sum. So be careful with the word sum also, because a lot of times it indicates a parenthesis is going to be needed. So 10 times the sum is going to go in here. The sum of a number and 9. So be careful with the word sum. Recognize that you may need a parenthesis in that case. All right, that's it.